We back once again for a hyped up woo week of EME podcast, baby. This is Charlie Mack Attack, the president, and we there with Turk McDirt, CEO and boss. We got the homie Paul, and we got the beautiful lady Kateri. Beautiful lady Kateri. I'm so sorry about her name. I'm horrible with names. Forgive me. Oh,
we
man.
just told it to you 1 second ago.
I don't know. I forgot that quick though, brother. Leave me alone.
It was perfect.
You did it right.
Yes, absolutely.
Well done.
Hey man, this is another EME week. We're here giving you the news and the business of what's going on in the city of Little Rock and what's happening all over the world. What's happening, boss? What's going on over there?
Man, there's a lot of stuff going on over here, man. We just got to stay busy, though. Man, it's good things going on, too. EME still working, man, and staying up and staying ahead of the game, you know?
Yep.
So that's special. That's what we focus on. And we also focus on making the bad better.
Already. That's the boss, Turk McDirt. Paul, how you living over there?
Hey, doing good. But I tell you, we need you to come back from Paris because we just ended one of the most dangerous months. May, we almost had a record. It was just beat out by June of last year, but we've got so much violence going on here in our city. And I tell you, we have got to, there's not going to be one solution, but we have got to figure this thing out, y'all, because it's like a war zone in certain neighborhoods here in Little Rock.
Like you can't even take your family, you don't even want your family out. When you beat the street lights, when the street lights go out, man, bring your kids home, bring your mama home, everybody trying to run in the house. So it's
well, I mean, what's going on, y'all?
Man, it's miseducation out there. It's showing like all the, I'm gonna say everything that we breeded in generations. You know what I'm saying? It's all just manifest. It's just mess, man. From people being locked up, from people being in tragedies. You know what I'm saying? It's just the mind state of people right now, and it's just showing. It's just showing, man.
And folks they're not working through any problems at all. I mean, it's just
straight violence. It's skipping the fighting. You're gonna die. And that's the mindset of the streets. Like, forget fight. Let's just check you out. And I don't think that's cool because they out here. These people could be our future doctors, or these people could be our future business owners. Anything like that. You stripping people of their lives too fast out here. So I think we need to do, just keep doing what we're doing, but really, you know what I'm saying, tackle these problems a little bit more heavy and start reacting a little bit more.
I think we need to. I think the problem is that nobody has enough respect for human life. There's no respect for human life. It's like Turtle said, it's from 0 to 100, from not even fighting, not even talking about it, to straight, I'm going to kill you, and then actually doing it. So there's no respect for human life, and the code of conduct in the world has been deteriorated. No one lives by law. It's lawless. It's no one taking responsibility for their action. And EME has to step up also. We have to push the envelope. We have to stand up in the trenches and allow people to see us that we're fighting this fight, not physically, but mentally and financially and spiritually, and by leading by example. That's how we change people's mindset, because if we keep complaining about it and saying what's wrong, it's not going to fix it. We need to put boots on the ground. In the military, they say boots on the ground. So we need to put boots on the ground and actually put solutions in effect to change the situation and the environment. We need to live up to our name, empowering my environment. So we need to empower the environment with solutions. That's what I think.
So, as I've heard y'all say before, is we've got to reach down into folk middle school, high school, and sports is one of the ways that folks can get connected to something that's good for them, pro-social, get you off the street. And you had a kind of a unique encounter with Kateri. Did I do that? Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Y'all met in kind of a unique way, and
Right.
that's why she's here is
Right,
to
right.
talk about sports and an opportunity that's coming to Little Rock that hopefully could be one part of a solution for our young ones.
So how did you meet her, Turt? How you meet Miss Kateri?
Man, I miss Miss Kateri on my lunch break.
Yeah.
I was at my lunch break. She was working out or whatever. And she had a dog, you know what I'm saying? And her little dog was running with her or running out on her at the park and stuff. And I was sitting there. And then this thing, you know, a big old dog jumped in my lap.
What kind of dog was it? What kind of dog was it?
She's a big dog too. I mean, this is a Catahoula leopard dog mixed with, I don't know, something. It's a toss up. But no, I mean, we were at MacArthur Park and, you know, finishing up a run. And I mean, the park is beautiful itself. So, you know, Turtle was there having his lunch and, you know, my dog has no boundaries. So she just went right up to him and he just jumped. He was, you know, adrenaline rushing instantly, swatting my Booga Bear away. And it was hilarious.
I was trying to figure it out. I was like, Lord, what I do?
No, you thought she was a wolf.
I thought it was,
yeah, like part wolf. I was like, maybe
in MacArthur Park, a wolf. Huh?
In MacArthur Park, man. I was sitting there, I swear I wasn't paying no attention, bro. I was chilling, and the biggest animal just ran and just came in my car, bro. I was like, oh no, man, what is this?
Yeah.
And then I just seen her, and I was like, oh no, this got to be her dog. She got to be saving me. And she was crazy. Dog went on back, and then we still started chopping it up from there.
Yes.
Yeah. And I figured out that she had an interest in sports. She's a coach. You know
That's right. That's right.
Hey, matter of fact, what's your dog name anyway?
K2D2, like R2D2.
K2D2.
Shout
out
K2D2. Yeah.
So is the K for the first letter of your name?
Yes.
See how I think?
There you go. You got it. But she's known as Booga Bear in my house. So.
Booga Bear.
Yes.
Oh, Booga Bear big, man. We got to invite Booga Bear to the show. Booga Bear big.
Man, I like dogs.
She is. Well, he thought she was part wolf, and you know
that's pretty big.
That's what got me on the track to telling him about Catahoulas, because I got her in Arizona, and you know she's from Louisiana, and actually the Choctaw used to use them as hunting dogs.
Right.
So then we started talking about lacrosse, and it was a rabbit hole for like 15-20 minutes at MacArthur Park, and it was awesome.
So
really
so
cool.
you gotta, so when you walked in earlier, I was like, so like lacrosse, you play with a bat or a club, or what is lacrosse?
Yeah, so lacrosse is the oldest sport in America, hands down. I mean, it's been documented, it's been titled and dubbed lacrosse because French missionaries discovered it, but it's like football and hockey and basketball. Basketball as far as, you know, how it starts and boundaries, and football because you can hit people and wreck them and take out all your aggression, leave it on the field. And hockey, you know, it's similar with a crease where a goalie's at, and, you know, there's restraining lines. And lacrosse is fun. You know, it's a lot of agility.
Hit people in lacrosse?
Oh, of course you can hit people. My dad, when he came to my first high school game, he was so excited because I just whacked this girl on the head. It was an accident.
Yeah, right.
Did you get penalties, fouls?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's yellow cards, which is kind of like soccer. Yeah. And then red cards, you know, then you have to sit out or you get kicked out of the game. But I mean, boys wear helmets and, you know, they can hit each other in a lot of different ways. Girls don't wear helmets. They have to use more of finesse, kind of like chess mixed in, but you know, you can still check the stick and, you know, let her know that you're there by just, you know, putting your stick on her.
But if you hit somebody a certain way, then it's a foul, right? But it's another way you can hit them that's legal, right?
Yes, exactly. So, you know, if you're bringing your stick up way up here, that's a slash when you bring it down. But if you bring your stick here and you don't drop your shoulder, it's not a slash. So it's really about body positioning.
Technique.
You know? Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, when a wide receiver catches a ball and they're trying to keep both their feet in line, it's the same technique. So it's just don't drop your shoulder.
And so as a coach, I mean, you're actually instructing, you know, you can force the other player, you can get their attention or cause them to lose their attention. And
yes, exactly.
By striking them in this way.
I just find the gray area and I'm like, okay, well, let's focus on the rules, you know. I mean, because I coach a bunch of incredibly intelligent, classy young ladies, but they can be physical and they like playing by the book. So, you know, when I say, all right, you can't drop your shoulder like that, but you can get her there, just bring the stick away right away. Right. They're like, okay, so I can hit her. Right. Yes.
So it's like other sports. It's like football. Just don't get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like football, because they hand checking football. Say a
Right.
cornerback and receiver, the cornerback always hand checking, but people be like, man, that ain't right. But no, that's part of the game. Once you get past 10 feet, then you put your hands, like, you can't touch it no more.
Yeah.
So
now, did y'all know before this show? Have you ever watched a lacrosse game? Did you know anything about it?
I have one red idea.
I have watched lacrosse. I watched lacrosse on YouTube, and they kind of play lacrosse over here in Paris. They play it, so I kind of knew. Yeah, she said it's French. The French missionaries named it, but it originated in America for the Native Americans played it.
Right.
But yeah, I watched a couple of games.
Is it big down there? Is that the main sport down there?
It's not the main sport. The main sport here is soccer. Soccer is the main sport here.
And DNA?
No. Maybe rugby and basketball title. Basketball is kind of high now, but basketball is on the rise in Europe. Really, really, really on the rise.
So rugby and lacrosse is two different things.
Yeah, two different sports. Rugby is more like American football without pads.
Larger ball and no pads. You hit each other.
Very physical. Rugby is very physical. You never seen them dudes doing a dance.
New Zealand.
Yes.
Yeah, I love rugby.
I love that video.
Yeah, I love rugby.
Yeah. No, it's entirely different. I mean, it's native to our country. You know, it's how Native Americans settled disputes. You know, they would just be like, let's take it to the field. Let's go. I mean, it could last an hour. It could last weeks. I mean, one game was recorded in New York that lasted a month. Yes. You know that teeth spilled that day.
0-0.
Man, those dudes was tired, man. I know they wives and baby mama.
They had to be 1-1 or 0-0 for a long time.
Man, that's crazy.
I had some friends. I lived overseas for a few years, and I had a Scotsman friend, and he said he tried to teach me cricket, and which I still don't understand. But he said the most glorious vacation that he had ever been on was a 5-day match, and I thought that was absolutely crazy. But now you're telling me that a couple of teams played for a full month.
Yes.
Scotsman liked the 5-day match because he drank beer the entire time, all 5 days. It was one big party for them.
That sounds like
so the opportunity now here in Little Rock is just now opening up.
Yes,
with lacrosse.
Yes, Storm 25 Lacrosse. It's not quite my baby, but I'm the girls director, and it's actually created by Bryant High School, their directors, and their son just got a scholarship to Hendrix, and he's only played for 3 years, 4 years. But yeah, I mean, they're the only public school, and they're like, look, there's all these barriers towards all these great athletes joining and trying this sport. So, you know, they just decided to push the button last year, and, you know, we got together and we were going to launch, but COVID stopped everyone's lives. So, you know, we backtracked and, you know, took it down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's available. Bishop Park, Storm 25, Arkansas. It's a lot of fun.
Well, what's the website if someone were interested?
Storm25lax.com.
Lax?
LAX.
LAX. Okay.
So what I got a question to do. No, and what I know about it, I don't read about it. I thought maybe it'd be like you said, it was just one school in public school, all the rest was in like private schools.
It's yes.
So
yes,
you know, it's an age. You know.
Yeah, that's part of the issues too. So I mean, I've been coaching here for 6 years now, and I started on a club travel team. And then, you know, one of the parents who has a daughter at Pulaski Academy, they noticed that, you know, all these kids want to play for their own teams. They don't want to play for this travel team, and they can never get the numbers. So they decided to start their own team, worked on the boys' side. You know, they ended up having 30 guys on JV and 25 on varsity. And So they decided to do girls, and that's when I hopped on board. And just like that, we had a full program. So all the other private schools followed. And, you know, Bryant, the creators of Bryant, the Rubies, you know, they created Bryant Public School Lacrosse. And that's kind of where we're at. You know, I'd really like to see it happen at Central. Central's so historic. And, you know, when I was coaching on that club team, and it was the bicentennial event that happened a few years ago, I wanted to go there, and my director was like, no, they can't afford lacrosse. And that's when and that's when I was like, man. And that was you know, after living in the South for 3 years for me at that point. And I was like, this is not real life. Coming from the suburbs of Detroit, I've never heard anything like that before, but
it's messed up.
Yeah. So going to PA was, you know, how I could ensure that we're going to get the foot in the door at the public schools, and especially at Central.
Right.
So
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
If the person that you referred to said is they don't have enough money, how expensive is starting a lacrosse program in a school?
Well, it depends. You're probably looking at, if you're doing boys and girls, which obviously you should do both at the same time, then, you know, you're looking at about 10,000. 10,000
for boys and girls.
Yes, for boys and girls, because boys alone, you know, they have elbow pads, they have a helmet, they have a chest protector, they have gloves, and then you got the stick. And then girls, it's just a stick and goggles.
No protection.
And then staff. So you need to pay coach and then have a field to practice on. So the actual sport, it seems to me that you run a lot.
Yes.
And then there's some eye-hand coordination. I mean, you got to be able to pass and
physicality.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the agility.
Be creative too, you know. I seen that one dude you showed me. He dove all in the.
Yes. Yes.
Do it
like 7 feet. Miles Jones.
That's how
he's amazing.
What made me ask you, do black people play that? You know what I'm saying? I had to ask because I seen you do a superpower. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that.
And that's why I pulled it up for you, because you know, there's such a stigma on lacrosse that it's just this white prep school sport. And unfortunately, that's how it's kind of been introduced here in Little Rock. And that's why Storm 25 was created, because we want to just squash that.
And so who's eligible? What age ranges? Can you go what schools?
Okay, so for Storm, it's anyone from anywhere. And right now it's just high school. In the fall, we're going to break it down to middle and elementary.
So do you get any, like, so before I started playing football, we had Pee Wee League. I mean, is it any Pee Wee leagues or AAUs or any, you know what I mean?
There's nothing there. We got a few things we're working on with the city and some other schools. And I mean, that's really it. It's really just.
When I looked it up, I seen that you can get a full ride.
Yes.
With this, you know what I'm saying? So
you're more likely.
That's what made me interested. You know what I mean? Like other than football and basketball, with my coach, I always get in. We forget about other sports and other things that we can do. You know what I'm saying? To get that ticket to get an education. So,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like, lacrosse might be another avenue our people, and we need to fight about it. Just really check in and check it out. Go to YouTube and look at it a little bit.
Instagram. It is all over Instagram. Blackser's blog, Blackser's blog. I mean, they just put the spotlight on the Black community and how they are just changing the game. Right. I mean, and I that's one of my favorite pages, just to get like stick tricks off of and cool things you can do on your own. But no, I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen here, and it's going to be huge.
I seen that they not only that you can play high school, you can go to college for it to get a full ride. You go to college and do your college, you can get picked to go pro.
Exactly.
Or Olympics, because I see that they got it in the Olympics too. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a full game.
Yeah. It's and that's the thing too, is that you're more likely to get a scholarship for lacrosse than football, than basketball.
Right.
He's right.
Than
He's
tennis.
Right.
They just have the funding, and D1 through D3. D3 will offer you scholarships. So, I mean, they'll mostly be academic, but you can get an academic scholarship if you graduate with a 3.0.
Right.
If
And
you're
then-
talented enough, you got it.
And then you're able to, if like you said, Turtle, if you play in college and you're good enough to go professional, semi-professional, you travel overseas. You could travel all over the world and play lacrosse.
Yes.
So lacrosse feeding family.
And it's a lucrative
Exactly.
sport. Like you said, the funding and the money is there. So you get paid nice. You get paid pretty nice.
An individual that wanted to play, what are they looking at to be able to buy their son or daughter the equipment to get in?
Yes. So for Storm, they can just rent the stuff from us. And, they just pay like a $25 rental fee. Don't quote me on that because I might be wrong about that number. But it's yes. That was the whole point, is we want to break down those barriers that have encompassed lacrosse's growth so far.
Storm help with the equipment.
Yes. So Storm will let you use the equipment, and your kid can have 12 sessions and it will last through until mid-July. And that's just for the summer.
So I have a friend who's very, very smart. He he's made all kinds of money, but when I heard his story, he shared with me, he grew up on a farm in a very poor community. And he had a conversation with his father one time, and he said, I don't want to farm. And his dad really kind of thought about it because he didn't know anything about farming.
Right.
And so he bought his son, a week later, he gave him a set of used golf clubs. Right. And he said, I don't know anyone that works indoors, but the people that do all play golf. So at a club,
there you go.
Go get to know them. And so I would say, now, if you can think about the long game here, right? One is, if you can get your loved one, or if you happen to be watching this and you're in high school and you're looking for real opportunity, and you may not have any right now, or seemingly you don't know of any opportunities, one is you're going to get out and run your butt off. And so, I mean, that's good. So you'll be in great shape. You're going to get to meet some new people. And a lot of those people, because right now it's a prep school game.
Exactly.
These are folks that have networks. And I'm telling you, it is so important to be able to get the job, or to get the recommendation, or to be able to find someone that could help you solve a problem. Your social network, we call it social capital. Right. That's something that people that just grow up with means, they just take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's an opportunity now where you can come and actually mix it up as equals on the playing field. That's the great thing about sports.
Yes.
Is you're able to meet people and befriend people that normally you wouldn't know. Right. You may not live next to. And so this is a wonderful opportunity, I think, that you're providing here, where some folks could meet some people that would open opportunities for them that maybe they're not thinking about or even have the opportunity right now. So they can,
a whole nother avenue.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, my philosophy, and it's also Storm's, is that you develop a person. You don't develop an athlete. But this kid comes to you no matter who they are, and you're going to stay with that kid, whether they're a star or, they're not athletically inclined. You develop them as a person all the way around, full. That's what you have to do, and that's how we have to heal the community. And once you can do that, oh man, I know Little Rock is going to be one of the coolest places to live.
What's Storm's mission like in the community? What would their mission be like?
To create no barriers to growing the game, so that all kids can play. And I mean, we're basically like a Dropbox of knowledge. We are full of resources and information and, networking. And it is networking. I can network with coaches in Colorado or Michigan, where I'm from, or, go to the East Coast, go to Virginia. And, I could be like, hey, we need these sticks. Can we get 10 of your old sticks? And they'd be like, yeah, absolutely. I'll send it out to you. I mean, that's how they got Cass Tech, which is a public school in Detroit, that's how they got a team there. And it's the only Detroit public school with the program. So, I mean, it's feasible here, but it's networking.
Mm-hmm.
And EME is so happy to have met you, so we can help.
Yeah.
So we can help squash that. So we can help squash that stereotype. Because our community, like Turk said, we don't normally know about lacrosse like that. So we need to squash the stereotype of the prep school thing, because in our community they're natural athletes. So I know they can do any sport they choose to. And this is another opportunity, because you were also saying that basketball and football, those are sports where we gravitate to, but in lacrosse, more of us will have the opportunity to go pro if we were involved and engaged in it. So now we have the information out here. Now it's time for us to YouTube and learn how to play this game and put it under our belt. And another way for us to get better resources and opportunity to our neighbors and our family. It's called EME's mission statement, to bring opportunities and resources to the community.
Hey,
I'm all there for it.
What was that the black guy name that you had shown me?
Miles Jones.
Miles Jones. Yeah, check out Miles Jones on YouTube. I'm telling you, he did an Odell Beckham move. He jumped up in the air, stretched out. I said, man, we need to play that. That might be where we need to jump. America needs to jump in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So is Storm literally, is they trying to go younger with it? Is they trying to get it more in the and with us, we work with Dr. Fitzhill, which work with the Board of Education, and they got football in the 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? Because we feel like the sports, we catch them young. You know what I'm saying? And
we can make a difference.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Start banging.
Right. Man.
Yes.
Kind of preschool, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? We started just that early, like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. We already being exposed to it, because now you outside with your uncles and your neighbors, and you're watching them do things. So it's the earlier you get in there, and the better. Like even before preschool, like we'll play in before we go to preschool, we already playing 6 years old. We practicing football. So we that, you know what I'm saying? So lacrosse, if we get lacrosse, we can go as young as that.
Exactly. I mean,
preschool.
Exactly. And that's my personal goal, coming from the suburbs of Detroit, to Little Rock, and just seeing the inequality. It breaks my heart, but, I want to help, bridge that barrier between, public and private school, and opportunities for everyone in Little Rock. And, I know that that's where it's at. We have to get in the middle school, and I would devote so much of my time to that.
I think we'll get
whatever's needed.
I think we'll get a lot of people, because like in football, basketball, baseball, it's always, when I see football and I go to the games, I see children that be sitting on the sideline, but the team too full. So it's be like teams be too full to even get all the kids.
Yeah.
So, if you break it down sportly, you might take some kids, put them on, it'll be plenty of kids to play.
You can.
It was a business book. It was 10 years ago or so. I think it was called Blue Ocean Strategy. Anyway, the point he was making in the book, the author was that, instead of going to Red Ocean where there's blood in the water, so it's high competition. Right. There's just blood in the water. If you want to go be a pro football player, you're probably not. Right. I don't care how talented you are right now. It's probably just not going to happen for you statistically, because of the competition.
Right.
Because everybody else out there is working towards that, and of course you start the funnel up to college, and it's tight, and you got to stay healthy.
Right.
But this is blue ocean, at least in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there are colleges providing scholarships, then so even if you don't go pro, the opportunity then
get a good education,
to be able to go to college and be a part of a sports team and meet folks that are going to be friends forever.
Right.
Open up new opportunities. Right. And so I know y'all bringing this is going to provide an opportunity for some.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the question then is EME listeners.
Right.
Yeah.
Will it be any of you or your kids?
Yeah, it's gonna be some ours. We trying.
I know my boy. I'm gonna get my boy.
If we get it young enough, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because right now it's just in high school. And I don't think that y'all have like Y'all don't do Pee Wee League. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff on the side.
Not yet.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
I can't say too much and right now, but we're working on getting it younger and younger.
Right.
So this fall there should be more opportunities. But what I really would like to do is just have a showcase at Central.
Right.
And bring out Fitz or the school board or whomever and have that networking opportunity.
Right.
And just get good people in a room and see passion and purpose. Just
we throwing a Father's Day program June the 19th.
There we go.
Central.
Yeah.
Central.
I'll be in Detroit though. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Well,
I don't like the humidity. That's when I go back home. So
but
next one though. That's cool.
So
I would love to. You know what?
Well, no, the summer's also here. I've lived here almost all my life.
You be gone in the summer too?
No, if I could.
Yeah.
Go nowhere. Yeah. Be right here restored working.
Yeah.
Go to the mountains.
Yeah, when you're a business on there, you program right. You 24 hours.
Yeah. But the summers in Little Rock super hot. Paul ain't lying.
And the community always working.
Full of mosquitoes.
Yes.
It's
and
that gets me. And
God put the mosquitoes here. Yeah, God put the mosquitoes here so you'd forget about the heat.
You coach. Did you play?
I did. I played in high school and in college.
Did you?
So yes. So in high school, I did it because my brother played.
Right.
And I did cheerleading too. So that was an interesting mix. But
go team.
Yes, exactly. No, I had an amazing coach. She taught me a lot of great cultural lessons. But no, lacrosse was different. And it was a basketball coach that taught us. So basically everything she was saying, she was like, well, in basketball from the free throw line or, whatever. And I'm like, but we're doing this.
Right.
In college at Eastern Michigan, they didn't have a team. They had a boys team, but no one tried to make a girls team. Right. So it was myself and a few other students that, just rounded girls up. They played hockey, they played tennis, they played golf, they played basketball, field hockey. This is Michigan, so obviously, we have field hockey.
You was always blessed to go people and be the first ones to crank it up, man, huh?
Kind of. We're like, one of those like we're paving the way.
Evangelist, the missionary for lacrosse.
Let's get the cross started.
It's gotta happen. Well, they're D1 now, so that's pretty impressive,
How long ago was this?
What? I'm sorry.
How long ago was this in Michigan?
2008. So.
What position you played?
I played So I played attack. And if
attack,
if it was hockey, I was like a cherry picker. I was closest to the goal, trying to just shoot on them.
Sure.
So yeah, I would be an a forward in basketball. Yeah.
Basketball.
Yes.
So I heard you mention that you had a record in
Oh, I did.
Right.
I did. Well, I was too, like, if I got shut down on defense, I was too afraid of the pressure, because we played Michigan, we played other great programs that were more established, and we were just this, comeback kid,
right,
raggedy team that just showed up. But like
the Mighty Ducks, like the Mighty Ducks in hockey.
We were. And
that's my favorite movie.
I love the Mighty Ducks.
To get hit on, so I would just turn around and get like a pass in over there, and ended up with a record for assists. And it was
wow.
It was pretty funny.
Forwards are kind of like point guards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So they like the coach. They like the coach on the field. Then.
Yes. Yeah.
So they have to always be thinking and be ahead of the game.
Yeah. The person you have to assist on basketball. That's the point guard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And football, it'll be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
and the point guard is. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay. So like the center, just like the center in basketball, plays full court. The center in lacrosse plays the whole field too. And they're the leaders on the team too, the middies that run the most, and they make the most calls, but it's a team sport. If you guys can't be cohesive and you guys can't know each other, then it's not a one-person team.
What about the goalie? Does the goalie get to go like in soccer? the goalie has to stay in a certain box. He can't go outside of that box. Can the goalie in lacrosse move outside of the box and make like other kind of moves?
Yes. Okay. And I actually met this little 15-year-old at a tournament, and this girl went coast to coast. So she went from her goal all the way to the other team's goalie, and she shot on her and scored.
What?
I mean, that is
So the
insane.
goalie can make points.
Yeah. So the goalie can come out of the goal, and they can, play as a field player. As soon as you're out of the goal, you're a field player. So you can get wrecked. You can get hit hard. You can turn over the ball. Someone can hop in the goal for you briefly, but I mean, it's
okay when they have.
It's up to you.
So I mean,
I saw that on YouTube.
Or if I'm a goalie and I take off to go down there, that means somebody on your team gonna have to shift and protect.
You're right.
Exactly.
You have to watch the goal while the goalie gone.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, and we had that happen. We had that happen for my personal team, not Storm. But for the Bruins, we had that happen in the championship where our goalie ran out to get the ball because it's first two gets the ball.
Right.
And she ran out to get the ball.
Nobody protected.
And there was no one in goal. So our, a defender hopped in goal. And then, they turned over the ball. The officials turned over the ball to the other team. So it was like, oh man, this girl's about to get shot on without any protection. Right. It was insane.
Kind of liking this.
That's why I asked that question, because I saw it I saw that happen on the YouTube.
My little son. See what he can do. I had to get my little son.
So I'm looking on the Storm website here, and it looks like that rentals are $100 for boys and $50 for girls.
Okay, I knew I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Are y'all looking for coaches? Are y'all looking
Absolutely
for more coaches?
Yes.
More resources, more people to
always. I mean, we're never done growing until I don't know, I retire. Right. They retire. They get sick of doing this after, their youngest kid leaves and, goes on to college. But, we're always looking for coaches, and we would train the coaches. They would train under me and, my philosophy of the modern American model, which is you develop an individual based on who they are and their skills, not based on what you think the skills should be.
So what if a lot of coaches pile up? Wouldn't that force people to create more teams?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then
we need more people to study it and you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The game.
And one of our boys coaches for Storm that wasn't here tonight because of work, but I mean, he was one of those stories, he went to Catholic and played football, ended up quitting, not liking it. Incredibly athletic though. And, I basically quid pro quo'd him. I was like, look, I'll do a bunch of training sessions with you if you come out and you help out Bryant, because their coach just quit and now they don't have any coach, and the season just started. So, he came out just being a pure of heart kind of person, and he helped Bryant, and he ended up learning about lacrosse from February until now. And I mean, he's still doing it. He wants to coach at Central. So, I mean, you can do it.
It's kind of dope.
A little bit of time. Yeah.
It is.
And so it looks like the summer session has started for Storm, but this week, did you just get kicked off this week? Could someone join the summer session? So it's still open.
Yes. Yeah, they're not going to turn anyone away, Okay. We're all about growing the game and getting a stick in someone's hands.
And then this fall, Storm will continue to...
It will continue to grow. We have not established dates yet, so it's still TBA, but I mean, it's our plan to break it down even more, elementary, middle.
So most of the people who come in, most of the coaches or whatever who come in to help now are getting into some new, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it'll be historical. So they'll be the beginning of some.
They would create their own legacy. You can get a
opportunity.
Parent. Right. Yes, you can get a parent to create their own little legacy at a certain school at Dunbar. I would love to see lacrosse at Dunbar as a middle school first.
Yeah, that's in our neighborhood.
I love that area.
Coach Turtle.
There you go.
Coach McDirt. Kurt McDirt.
Yeah, you could do that there. And, you just come out to a few training sessions and then we send you off to US Lacrosse, the governing body of lacrosse, and you get certified and you're good to go. They do background checks and safe sport and all those essential things that you need to make sure that your kids are safe and they don't have to deal with any abusive language from
for the training.
Sometimes it is, but if there's enough people, it will be in Arkansas, Little Rock, or Northwest Arkansas, because there's more teams in Northwest Arkansas than Central.
Good in elementary, junior high school.
Oh yeah,
so I'm pushing for Storm.
Little Rock would turn it up.
EME, we're gonna be here to help. We try to put these plans with you, partnerships.
You guys could have your own little brand, your own little team.
I give me a little lacrosse, EME lacrosse team, empower my environment. Yeah.
And then, bro, lacrosse got some clean uniform. We can have some EME. We have some EME lacrosse uniform.
Jumped in my lap.
Wait. What did you say about it? Hold on. You're talking about apparel, and you got my attention now. What'd you say about a uniform?
EME is a brand, an apparel brand. If we come up with an EME lacrosse team, we can sell our apparel brand with lacrosse because their jerseys are nice. I've seen them on YouTube, and I seen Duke's a lacrosse uniform. It's dope, bro, and it'll make a killing, bro.
Dukes was blue too. It was fire.
Man, you know me, man. I'm always thinking business, man.
Yes.
EME lacrosse team, man. EME lacrosse jersey gonna sell, bro. Off top.
Yeah.
I would rock that penny all the time.
with the compass on it, and then the EME.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yes.
EME jerseys.
So cool. Yeah, I mean, you could get pennies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, once you start getting people actually committed to making a difference in the community in the small little ways.
Man, that ain't no bad.
I mean, those small little ways end up being, mountains for kids.
Right.
But I mean, you just get people together,
right,
to commit to something.
Right.
It's gonna happen. That's what
it starts from a raindrop. It starts from a drop till it turns into a puddle. Then it becomes a lake. And then we got our ocean.
Exactly. And that's what has to happen.
Then you might play in the Olympics. You good enough. Sure. You
right.
to the Olympics, man.
Right.
Yes, right? It is.
Fight
man.
for the country. USA. USA. I like that.
Yeah.
You could.
And then,
I mean, there's opportunity.
Yeah. And we just discussed the correlation between sports, lacrosse, and how it can deter violence, how it can deter young people from being out there in the streets, being out there joining gangs, being out there fighting and shooting when they're doing something new, something innovative, something positive that they really like and they've YouTubed and studied, and they're like the first from their community to actually practice it and go out and do it. That's something special. When you're the first and then you're teaching other people, that changes it empowers your mindset. It empowers your environment. Then other people start seeing it from our neighborhoods, and it becomes a movement like EME. And then we keep pushing, and we get the funding, then we get the resources, and then the opportunities change. This on EME podcast, every episode we're coming up with different solutions for the violence in our city streets. Last week we were talking about fatherhood and how good fathers change the dynamic of young men and boys and girls, and they don't go to the streets as often. The statistics show that. This week we're talking about sports, and especially lacrosse, a new sport that can change the innovation and the viewpoint of our neighborhood. Man, EME is the sizzle, man. Tell him, Paul.
Yeah, I like that. Man. I think we can do something with lacrosse, man. I'm happy that the wolf dog jumped into my name.
The wolf dog. K9.
It's big, man.
The wolf dog.
He's a big dog.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big dog.
Yeah, hey,
man.
Everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So.
It does. It does.
Interview. I enjoy it.
And we so thankful for Restore Hope, EME, and you guys. If you liked our video and you like the podcast, please like and share and love on Facebook, and check us out on our YouTube page, on Restore Hope YouTube page, and you can check out EME's episodes and like and subscribe to them also. Paul is the man. We thank Kateri for coming. Turk McDirt, the boss of all bosses, and me, I'm the underboss and the president. It's another episode of EME, man. We'll check y'all next week. And we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Woo. Woo.